Hello everyone, it is your one and only boy Genius out at the range today again with the Taurus GX2. As promised, I did load the magazines up and leave them loaded overnight. I don't know why necessarily that I'm doing that. It's just something someone mentioned in the comments. Weak magazines, weak weld, something like that. Maybe they would come apart if they stayed loaded. They weren't sure. I don't know. All I can do is just keep continuing to do that. Out to 300 rounds so far without incident. Had the little mud situation in the magazine. It's still muddy out here, so I'm going to refrain from John Wicking the mags today because I don't want to have a situation where it actually does chamber and there's a big wad of mud in my barrel. So don't know what would happen, but I don't want to find out either. But either way, got all 115 grain loaded up. I'm trying to keep these videos as short as possible because people complain when they're long. So I can't sit here and run 1,000 rounds on camera in one sitting. So I have to break these videos up because, again, I don't want to fast forward through the shooting and you think that, oh, this dude's being sketch. He's not showing us everything. I want you to see every single round. We've had 300 so far. We've ran 124, 147. We have ran 147 in the jacketed hollow point, 124 in the jacketed hollow point. We've ran 124 ball ammo and mostly 115 white box Winchester and S&B. Just so everyone knows, the people inquiring want to know, right? Make sure also, before I get started, that you know Jesus Christ is your Savior. Help support the people that support me. I have on another shirt from Flannel Go. It sounded like in the other video I was saying Flannel Co., like company, I guess, but it's not. It's Go, like G-O. Let's go somewhere. So it's Flannel Go. Another shirt from them. If it's not your style, not your flavor, great. But the shirts really do fit well. I wore them for a few days prior to actually agreeing to pimp them out on camera, if you will, scan the QR code on the screen and help the people who support me and your favorite gun channel. Also, go over, consider supporting me on Patreon, $5 a month, cancel anytime. Super thanks out on YouTube. I get that money as well. gsquaredtactical.com. Hit the three little lines in the left-hand corner. Hit on support channel, and you can donate directly to the channel that way. Again, all of that is irrelevant if you don't know Jesus Christ as your Savior. If you don't know for sure you're going to heaven, take care of that today. And if you don't know how you can know, ask me. I'd be more than happy to tell you. I'm becoming, I shouldn't say that this because I am becoming a little bit worried on the last 300 or so. It seemed like the slide was getting sloppy. Now, I didn't really feel it in the shooting necessarily, but most of it I was shooting really fast. Again, just trying to get through the video to shorten it up as much as possible. But just when I was racking it in, now I do have one in the pipe in a fully loaded 13 round magazine, because I know people will say, well, what about if it's fully loaded with one in the chamber? You know, don't know if I've done that yet, but if not, there's 14 in here right now. I'm going to shoot it that way, but it did seem to start getting a little slop in it towards the end. I don't know if that's because it's getting dirty or what, but we're going to find out. I'm going to try to put 200 through it today to get it out to, what would that be, 500 rounds? So get it out to 500 rounds and see what goes of it. Like I said, I am going to try to put it in some mud, some water, some stuff like that. But I'm going to wait till I get it out to maybe 800, 900, maybe even 1,000 rounds before I pull that off. I'm going to put these two mags through it as usual, do a shooting compilation, come back to the last 13 rounds, and we'll see what happens. If failures begin to happen, we will stop the video and we will address those and what we believe might be going on. So we'll put these two mags through it and then we'll just go to shooting. As I said, there'll be no John Wicking of the mags today. Kind of weird, it went home pretty good that time. I'm still pretty impressed. I mean, I'm doing a little better than I did the last time when the sun was directly in my face and the smoke was kind of distorting my view. But I'm still impressed with, again, in the red dot revolution and everyone using red dots, and me included in becoming accustomed to that, just how well I'm able to shoot relatively quickly with just these standard irons. And I tell you, that feed ramp has got some stuff on it. Anyway, I'm going to do the 200 rounds and we'll come back and talk about it at the end unless something happens. All right, there we are, officially 13 rounds away from 500. Did not have an incident, so we did not need to stop the camera. Still has that occasional when I drop it. See, that time it went right in. I don't know if maybe it's one of the, because like I say, I have about 3 different brands of ammunition in that jug or in that can. So maybe it's one of them's longer than the other or something. I'm not really sure what it is, but occasionally I would say maybe 4 mags out of 10, it seems to have that slop going back into battery. Not sure what that is, but it has not failed to go back into battery, except for when I had the dollop of mud in there. So what I did was, I had that ammunition that was having the light primer strikes on the Bull Axe Armory, the ZSR ammunition, some stuff, cheap stuff that a guy had recommended to me in a gun store. Well, I had a little bit of that left over, so I loaded that up in here just for kicks and giggles, just to see what would happen, see if it had light primer strikes with the Taurus. So I'm gonna run these 13, get it out to 500, and we'll wrap this video up by talking a little bit about it. Well, no issues there with the ZSR, whatever the heck that is. I think it's a Turkish ammunition. Anyway, no problems. Again, still has a little bit of slop occasionally when dropping on a full magazine. Not sure what that is, but it has not failed, and it has not felt sloppy while shooting it. And I've put those rounds through there relatively fast. Now, I can't say it's not hot. The barrel's not hot. The slide's not hot, should I say. But it is 20-something degrees out here, so I'm sure that plays a huge factor too. I guess if it was 110 like it is in the summer sometimes, maybe it might be screaming hot. I don't really know. It is getting incredibly dirty. Obviously, the feed ramp is pretty bad shape. But it has not been cleaned, and it will not be cleaned. Like I said, I'm going to try to get it out to about 1,000 rounds, maybe more. I might go further than that. I don't know, because if I go to 800, all that POS won't make it to 1,200 rounds without breaking something. You know how people are. So, they try to encourage you to get it out to 1,200, then 15. Heck, I don't know. It might be somebody from Taurus trying to get me to do that. I don't really know, but you know how the people are sometimes. I'm going to try to get it out to about 1,000 rounds overall total, maybe 1,200, maybe. And towards the end, I'm going to put it in some water, maybe a little muddy mud puddle or something like that. A little torture, if you will, see if it'll run. But it's getting so bad dirty now, I don't know. I'm not sure. Got all the black all over my hands and the web of my hand here. But I can't say enough about how good this thing does feel in the hand. I don't really talk about how things feel in the hand that much. But the ergos on this thing is really, really nice. And no splitting of the magazines. Not sure if anyone's actually had that problem or if that's just something someone thought may happen to it. I will say that I have John Wicked quite a few of these on the ground, and when I put the last round in, I hit it on the tailgate, just a habitual habit. I don't see any splitting and have not had any issues so far with the magazine, so I don't know. I don't know. All I can say, 500 rounds without incident of any kind. Still shooting mostly accurate with it. I forgot my spray paint today, so my targets have turned white in the sun. Add in the smoke, that doesn't help, but I'm still impressed with how fast and how accurately I'm able to shoot this gun, given that it's a $250 piece and at some point will probably be cheaper than that. Again, thanks so much for watching. Make sure you know Jesus Christ is your Savior, and as always, to God be the glory.